All right. Hello, listeners. You're on Wil and Dan at noon, and today we have special guest Jasmitaa Chhabra. Is it with a hard CH or a soft?
It's a hard CH. It's Chhabra.
It's a hard CH, Chhabra. So, Jasmitaa, tell us a little about yourself. I mean, like, where do you go? What do you do? What do you aspire to become?
Well, I'm a second-year student here at Ryerson. I'm in the business management program. I act on the side, so I'm doing my BCom degree, but I do act on the side.
You are a second-year Ryerson student.
Hey.
You're studying business, and you want to be an actress. And you've been on some shows that Will's been a part of, and Will's been, engaged in.
Oh, I hang around sometimes.
So
yeah.
you're just as special as her.
No, just me. It takes the stage.
No.
And so, like, the question I want to ask you is, and I know you're also involved in Ryerson, like the marketing association. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like a part of a conference in
in
the
about
next
2
couple hours.
yeah.
So you're a busy woman. So we appreciate your time. So just want to ask you, like, how do you balance your life in terms of your school, where you're studying business commerce? It's totally something that's different than acting.
Yeah,
So do you find it hard?
I think it is actually very difficult. Well, as far as being busy, I think it all comes down to time management. I don't get a lot of sleep, usually during the week at least. I try to hibernate over, sleep in on the weekend and catch up. But, business and acting are, I feel, at two extremes, and it is difficult to try to pursue both of them because they are both very competitive, and I think to really get far in either of them you need to commit yourself full time, and it's difficult to find that balance.
So what got you like started in acting when you were younger? What got you interested?
I can't even remember the first time I was on stage. I was that young. I think my parents have always just like pushed me on stage. I do dance as well, so I think that's when I was on stage for the first time, and ever since then I've just done like school plays, and it's always been this awesome adrenaline rush whenever I'm on stage, and I love it, so I kept at it, and then throughout elementary and high school, so yeah.
Let's move into one of your most recent projects, Heroine, where you played you tell us. Who did you play? What did you do?
I played, as the name suggests, I played a heroin drug addict. And it's a short film. I believe it's a 2-minute long film, and it's really cool. It's one of those. It leaves it open to interpretation. The audience can really take away from it what they want, and I think it's kind of hard to explain in words. It's one of those things you really just have to see. You follow her journey, kind of as an addict, and what her life is, what it could have been, and what it was. So it was an interesting role to play, definitely.
Well, how is it different from the other roles have you played? Like this, what tested you in this, and what sort of research did you have to do to fit into this role?
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't really have a lot of time to do any research on the role. So originally, the guy played the heroin addict, and I was just, the girl in his life. And then I came in that morning on set, and they told me, like, hey, like, Jasmitaa, how do you feel about playing the addict? And I was like, okay, like, bring it on, let's do this. So I actually, like, while I was getting my makeup done, I was, like, researching heroin addicts on my iPhone.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Like, getting into character is really, really difficult, right? Especially, like, I don't know if you've ever done heroin. Don't admit it on air.
Things where I was like, Alan, I don't know how to play an addict. He's like, don't worry, I'll teach you. Like,
just make a note, Alan doesn't do heroin either.
He did his research. So, I don't know, I was just like, how do I act? Like, what do I do? So, he did help a lot. So the producer and the director do offer a lot of guidance when it comes to stuff like that. And other than that, it was difficult getting into role just because, like, no one else around you is in role.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of, like, joking around and behind the camera, and you're doing this, like, really serious role. So it was difficult, but yeah, it was one of those.
So what exactly do you like about this short? What in particular?
About this short?
Yeah, the heroine.
What do I like about it? It was, for an audience, for the audience, it's an interesting, as I said, it's an interesting short film because it really does leave everything open to interpretation. So the audience can take away from it what they want. And as an actress playing the role, it was very challenging. It was a really unique experience. And I took a lot away from it.
But for Heroine, tell us about some of the, what are some of the things that made it so unique?
Well, again, it was one of those things that I've never done before, so it was a new experience.
You had a needle on the shoot, I believe.
Yeah, there was a needle. Yeah. we shot with me shooting up with
It
the
looks so
needle.
real. I thought it was real, but
It is
apparently-
real. What are you talking
it
about?
was real. Yeah.
No, I'm
It's
pretty sure you can get one of
hardcore.
those at Sharper's Drug Mart, Will.
That,
And
yeah.
Alan, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But, okay,
that's-
so like, I mean, you were part of that. Did you ever ask Will or Alan what they were trying to get with that film? Like, what was the message? What are they trying? What was the message they're trying to give the audience? How did you interpret it?
It's honestly, I still haven't really figured out how I feel about the ending of the film. Like, to me, there's still like two ways it can go, and I don't know. Yeah, I did. I mean, I've talked to you guys about where you want it to go, and they've said too, like, we want the audience to decide. We don't really want people to come to one conclusion.
It was a fancier way of saying we don't know. No, I'm kidding. No, but we did intentionally want to leave it open-ended.
Really?
With the original script, it was a more definitive ending. You know, we said let's have the guy, you know, end up happy, end up with the girl. But when we changed the script, you know, you saw the whole rewrites happening on set, literally when we were making the heroine, which was disgusting. I don't know if you remember that
and
smell,
stinky.
but that was terrible.
Was this a one-day shoot?
It was a one-day.
It was a one-day shoot. It was a long shoot, but it all took place inside, and you know.
You know what's interesting? She comes in to play a different character, and then you guys tell her that she's playing a completely opposite character.
Well,
to
you know, does that happen often? I mean, do you find it happens?
A minute before you go on-
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
never happened before. It might happen in the future, but I mean, you guys literally told me the morning of. Like, I showed up and they're like, "Hey, how do you feel about not doing the role that you've prepared for, but playing the addict?"
Right, but you know, do you think that's a good skill to have in the
Oh, yeah,
industry? You know,
yeah.
like just going on set and all of a sudden, like, all right, you're not extra 167, you're now the lead role because Julia Roberts isn't showing
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
How cool would that be?
Do you guys? What could change about that script? Is it perfect? Looking at it like a couple months after,
Ooh, it's a perfect.
do you like the ending? Is it still?
Who's gonna?
Oh,
do you want?
you take
Yeah.
it,
no-
'cause-
oh, I'll
oh, you
take
take
it.
it.
That. All right. Alan's probably gonna skim me alive. No.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble here.
After it was rewritten, I thought it was a very, very unique take to have the you know, the female character in this role, because usually we see the males, you know, the one sort of in that downward spiral. And that's originally we wrote it just you know, with the male character in that downward spiral because it just seemed natural. You know, I'm still not entirely sure what drove, because Alan was the one who made that final decision. He made that final call. I don't know why exactly he made that call. I was just producing, you know, make sure everything was organized that day. But in terms of perfection of the script, I thought the narration was it was well executed in terms of visuals. Nithya did a great job of
Yeah,
interpreting
she
it.
was
And yeah, you know, you really do. You know, when we watched the preview and the cut, the picture lock that we have now, I feel like there is, you know, a really nice narrative being told. It's a really strong story. Like it's linear, and you know, it doesn't break off into like random plots. And you know, just because the ending may lead to two different conclusions doesn't mean that it's a confusing plot. It just means that it's open to interpretation.
As an actor, when you look at Heroine after it's done, you have some time to sort of look at it and think about it and not think about it, and Poser and 99 Slaps. Are you harsh on yourself? Are you?
I can be very critical.
Really?
Yeah, I can be. I'll watch it a few hundred times and pick at everything that I think could have been done better.
You know, what do friends and family say to you about, you know, when you say that you want to pursue acting? Like, you know, what do they think? Especially when they see your stuff, that, you know, how great you are at at acting. You know, what are their reactions? Are they?
Well, my family's always been really supportive of it, actually, and it's surprising to a lot of people because coming from a South Asian background, a lot of people are like, you know, like brown parents, you know, they don't support the arts. But with my family, it's actually the complete opposite. They've always been really, really supportive of it, which is great, and it really does help. I mean, my friends too, they've been supportive of it. They've seen my stuff. They like it. And the good thing is I do have friends who will be critical about my acting, so it does help me grow, and they do provide feedback.
Will, is she a high maintenance actor?
Extremely high maintenance. Holy mackerel, we have to get her a trailer. I mean, half her budget just is spent on
Too much?
Jasmita. Like, way too much. I mean, she's like, that's it.
We're almost out of time. I know you're very
Aw.
busy. You want to go to your business conference. She's so busy.
Yeah, I know.
But we're
Jeez,
very
just
happy
say
that
hi
you
to
gave-
her.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming. But
For
yeah,
having
that's-
me.
Any last questions, Will?
my last
Put her on
question.
the spot.
Well, you took my early one. You know, where do you see yourself in 10 years? But you know, where do you see yourself after graduation? Is my question. Like
Oh,
right
that's
after.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's again. It's
Like
a
where do
little
you?
too far.
What? I mean, like my question is to focus it a little more. What do you think by the end of graduation is going to be your, you know, your focus? Is it going to be acting, or is it going to be the marketing world? or are you gonna try to blend the two
I
together,
really
or are you gonna go
wanna
to
try
teachers
to
college?
blend it. No, teachers
Yeah.
college. Definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
No, I really would like to find a balance and have those two worlds meet, because that would be ideal life for Jasmitaa Chhabra right now. Yeah, I would love to find that balance.
All
I mean,
right. Well,
yeah,
yeah. Of a lot of people we know, you're definitely on the right path.
I think you're doing a great job of managing both your acting career and education well. And I think I strongly ask, people always tell people that they should really go for that, you know, because who never knows, like who knows if you're gonna be an actor.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what we all have dreams, but we always gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. It's a lot of work, but I mean, anything that's worth it always is.
Jasmita, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.